again. Cool. Well, we are back for day 3 of our Glacier Peak District event. Off to a great start yesterday. 55 awesome matches plus 1 bonus match. Bonus matches are always good. Shout out to a couple of teams. Who is in first place at the moment? Cyborg Ferrets, where are you at? Currently ranked number 1. And I also want to shout out to the only team we've seen do that 3-toed autonomous, Team 948. Looking great over there. And of course, all our teams doing amazing things with their robots so far. We've got 11 more matches we're going to play today, and then we will move on into the real fun part with the playoffs and all that. Before we get started, we've got a few special guests this morning, and I would like to start out by introducing our first one. He is the founding chairman of Washington First Robotics and the district chair for the Pacific Northwest FRC district. Please welcome Mr. Kevin Ross.
Thank you, Brett. So, nothing makes me more proud than the commitment of our entire FIRST community. We have about, we're not exactly sure because we don't actually track individual students, but we have somewhere around 14 to 15,000 members of the FIRST community. They are supported by 2,500 volunteers and 3 paid staff people. That is an enormous amount of effort that's put in to support all of those students, and I would just like to take this opportunity to have all of us give all of the volunteers a huge round of applause for contributing so much of their time. One of the more difficult decisions that we have to go through every year is deciding which of our volunteers we would like to call out and honor for the year, because there are so many outstanding ones. Today's Volunteer of the Year is a person who has put in countless hours, not only in FRC, but also in FLL and FTC and JFLL. This person has contributed so much of her own time and energy and putting in so many hours to make sure that every student in this area has the ability to participate in FIRST and has a great time doing it. Lori, if you would come out here for a second, hand me that. So we would very, very much like to appreciate Lori Hiddle. I volunteered her. Well, you're welcome. Thank you for all of your hard work. We really appreciate it. And you'll notice I volunteered her to bring out her own award. I thought that was pretty good.
Thanks, Kevin. Kevin forgot to kick it back to me. I didn't know I was supposed to be talking again. Well, all right. Well, thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Laurie, and all our volunteers for everything you do. Of course, you all know this is a volunteer organization, and we could not do all the great things we do here without the support of all of our volunteers, so we're very grateful for that. Next, I would like to welcome one of our students up here to speak a little bit. This student is a team member of Team 4915, Spartronics. She is a junior at Bainbridge Island High School, and she wanted me to let you all know she missed Tolo to be here. So make sure you give her a big hand. Please welcome Ayla Ikuse.
Testing. Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Ayla Akuse, and I am a proud member of Spartronics Team 4915. Let me tell you a story. How does a team quadruple its membership of girls in just 1 year? Last year, Spartronics Team 4915 had 4 girls, and this year we have 16. We did this using 3 words: networking, connecting, and communicating. Marketing. Who are marketing folk in the audience? Awesome. I'm talking to you. By the way, all of you should have raised your hands because everyone, whether they know it or not, is a marketer. Our first word is networking. We start young and we demonstrate and we go to elementary schools and get their parents involved. This past year during the off-season, we went to the elementary schools in our school district and we demonstrated last year's robot, Atlas, to them. At our open house, we invited elementary teachers, students, and their parents to come take a look at what we've been doing all season. Because you see, girls are not specifically encouraged to enter STEM careers. We're given dolls and not Legos to play with. And I can't tell you how many girls either came up to me or my team or to their parents and said, "I want to build robots when I grow up." Our next word is connecting. We have female mentors who during the off-season talked to and identified girls who they thought would be great in robotics. A good example of this is myself. I was in a play last summer with Benor's son. Benor is our programming mentor, and she went straight up to me after the play and she said, "Hi, I'm Benor. You should do robotics." And I was really confused. I hadn't ever thought of doing robotics before because I didn't think I had the technology expertise to be able to do something as complex as building a robot. But what she told me is that in robotics, in STEM, there is a place for everyone, and you do not need prior experience so long as you're willing and eager to learn. Our third and final word is communicating. We talked to other STEM clubs at our high school. We have Biomedical Engineering Club, and we talked to Miss Moore, the teacher there, and asked her to spread the word about robotics. We got a lot of girls that way. We also talked to the other science teachers, particularly the female ones, because they are more than happy to pass on chances that were given to them. We also got ourselves into the morning announcements, into the daily bulletin, and into the video announcements. Everyone in the whole school knew what robotics was and how to join the team. So in conclusion, having more girls means more diversity, more ideas, more perspectives from a different wavelength and how to build an awesome robot. Any girl can do robotics if they set their mind to it. Because the reality is, doing technology in your career is no longer becoming an option, but it's becoming a requirement. If FIRST leads the charge in getting more girls involved in STEM, we can change the world. But it all starts with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isla. All right, we're going to keep on rolling in a minute, but before we do that, I've got one little thing I just kind of want to take care of. Jason, could you bring that out to me, please? This is Jason, by the way. He's been handing me flags all weekend. Please give Jason a huge hand. Thank you. So I mentioned yesterday the tote goat, and the tote goat's been around this weekend. We've seen some great goat selfies. I kind of want to do the biggest goat selfie ever. So Brian, our game announcer, has lent me his selfie stick, and we're going to do a giant Glacier Peak District event goat selfie. Everybody ready for this? Here we go. Let me turn this around. And everybody get in the selfie. Here we go. Ah. Everybody get in the selfie. And goat. Everybody say goat. All right, hopefully one of those works. Thank you, everybody. All right, next up, I'll keep Tote Goat with me for this. We just had Isla come out and speak, and she's just one of many amazing students that participate in FRC. And one of the awards we have to honor and recognize some of our student leaders and our outstanding student participants is the Dean's List Award. This award works in several phases. Students are nominated by their team to become semifinalists. Then later on today, some of those semifinalists will be named finalists to move on to the district championship, and after that, a few will move on to be judged at the World Championship. So if we could, AV, can we see our Dean's List semifinalists for the Glacier Peak event? Congratulations to all those students for being recognized as leaders in the community and on your teams. And this afternoon's awards ceremony, we will name, I think, 2 who will be moving on to the next level to be evaluated once again at the district championship in Cheney. Now, speaking of students, how many of you want to go to college? Right answer, good. How many of you are really excited to pay for college? Yeah, so if you didn't already know, FIRST as an organization gives out over $20 million in scholarships every year. Most of those scholarships are only available to students who participate in FIRST, which is a somewhat limited community, and a lot of them sometimes go unclaimed because not enough people apply. So we have a short video from FIRST headquarters to tell you all about the scholarship opportunities.
Hi, I'm Jane.
And I'm Patrick.
We're both fortunate to have been awarded 2014 Bart Kamen Memorial First Scholarships. Behind us is Championship Scholarship Row, and it's packed with representatives from schools all across the world.
College is coming.
He's right, college is coming. And luckily for you, all the experiences that you've gained with FIRST mean a lot to colleges and universities. There are hundreds of schools offering millions of dollars in scholarships to FIRST participants as part of the FIRST Scholarship Program. The FIRST experience is so intense. It seems like it's all about being in the moment. Your teammates, sponsors, and alliance partners are all counting on you. But don't forget to put some of that focus on yourself and your future.
As a junior, I was elected Director of Community Outreach for FIRST Robotics Competition Team 178, the 2nd Law Enforcers. It was great exposure to groups outside my robotics team and a whole lot of work. I filled other roles in my team as well, and sharing those experiences has helped me earn my first scholarship, which I'm using to attend an Ivy League school.
I was on FRC Team 75, the Roborators, for 4 years. In my senior year, I was the team president, and I spent a lot of time working with my teammates and in the community doing whatever it took to keep us on track. I'm glad I was able to use what I learned to earn my first scholarship, which has made it possible for me to pursue my career in medicine.
It's easy to get started. Just go to the FIRST Scholarships page at usfirst.org/scholarships. There are lots of resources there, including descriptions and applications for all of the current FIRST scholarship opportunities. New scholarships are being added all the time, but don't wait until the last minute to apply.
That's right. All FIRST scholarship deadlines are set by the institutions that offer them. Most of them fall between December and May.
So don't forget, right now, if you're in your senior year, go to usfirst.org/scholarships and apply for any of the scholarships that you're interested in.
Many FIRST events may have scholarship rows set up, where you can talk face-to-face with many of the providers, just like we're doing here at Championship. This is especially important for all of you freshmen, sophomores, and juniors on teams. Start preparing now.
So don't forget to
Apply,
and visit us at usfirst.org/scholarships, and we'll see you on campus.
So hopefully many of you, especially you seniors, will go out there and apply for some of those scholarships and earn some of those scholarships and get well on your way to a fantastic college education. And to talk a little more about the college experience, I'd like to bring back our founding chairman, Kevin Ross.
So first, for inspiration and recognition of science and technology, you are involved in what is really the premier program for people getting interested in science and technology all across the country. One of the things that we sort of mismessage sometimes is, what does it take to be involved in the science and technology community? We like to have you guys do engineering projects and those sorts of things, but it turns out that we know that most of you are not going into engineering. And that's fine, because the world of science and technology is not just for engineers. It's for business people. It's for communicators. It is for writers. It is for people who can manufacture. So there's a wide number of avenues to stay involved in our community. I just want you to make sure that you realize that for you to succeed and for you to really sort of hold all of the work that we've put into this in respect, we need you to go out and find it is what you're passionate about and what is going to work best for you. So we are just as excited to find out that you would like to be an artist, a writer, a business person, a biologist, or an engineer. We are 100% good with that, and I'm hoping that each and every one of you will be able to find your own passion. Sound good so far? All right. Let me take just a brief moment to talk a little bit about the whole college career thing. Picking a major sucks. I mean, you're 17, 18 years old. How are you supposed to know what it is that you want to do for the rest of your life? I'm going to now tell you a little bit about my history so you can see that you're probably not alone. I graduated from Juanita High School in 1981. Yay, Juanita! I had no plans whatsoever to go to college. I was going to be a cabinet maker. I got out of high school in the middle of a recession, couldn't get a job. I licked dishes at an Italian restaurant. I worked on a fishing boat. I did hot tar roofing. I installed hot tubs. I had a bunch of construction jobs. I failed at all of those. I was not passionate about any of those things. I then ended up going to college by my mother's prodding. It was something along the lines of either go to college or move out. Yeah. So I went to college because I'm cheap, and I ended up getting involved in theater. I was a theater major. Yay, theater. Yeah, that's where I learned how to do a lot of this stuff. So I actually did quite well in theater, and then about halfway through my college career, I realized that my major, although I was passionate about it, was not something I could live on. I had forgotten to do my homework and figure out what it was that I could actually make a living at. Turns out I also had a chance to think about it. I liked planning things, and I liked technology. I've been a nerd since I was a kid. And so I got into computer science. I got a computer science degree. I went to work for Microsoft out of college, got to leave the workforce at a terribly early age, and now I get to do this all the time. I am telling you this for one or two very important reasons. A is, when I started out going to college, I had no clue what it was I wanted to do. And I seem to have done okay. I get to do this full-time as a volunteer, right? That's pretty good. The thing I learned was I really need to be passionate about what it is that I'm going to work on. If I'm not passionate about what I'm working on at the moment, I don't do a good job and I'm not happy. I want you to be happy and productive and to help us solve the world's problems. So, when it comes time for you guys to start thinking about what it is that you want to do to go to college, do not fret, do not fear the fact that you may not know exactly what that is before you go off to either college or vocational school. Some of you are going to go to trade school. Some of you are going to go straight into the workforce. Yay. You are still members of our first community. You are still going to be out in the world being gracious and professional and being able to work with teams of people to get hard things done. So my biggest goal in life is for our community, for our first community, to eventually take over the world. Right? For that to happen, we have to do a few things. We need political leaders. We need people to go out and run for office. We need to start the Gracious Professionalism Party. Gee, something might actually get done for once. My last point for you is, please stay connected to your first community. No matter what your involvement was in our program, you have a home here with First. You have a home not only in Washington State, but there is First in almost every part of the country. Stay committed to it. Join our alumni network. Every team here should be reaching out to all of their previous alumni and make sure that those people are still engaged and still connected. It is good for our community, and it is good for our world. There are big problems that need solving. There are little problems that need solving. Some of you heard me last week. We have energy problems that can be solved. We have big political problems in climate change, and we have little tiny things like why is it that when I brush my teeth in the morning and then have a glass of orange juice, that is the single most disgusting flavor on the planet, right? There's a little problem. If somebody would solve that by going out and learning the chemistry behind this and make it so I can enjoy my orange juice without wanting to retch, life will be better. See how much better the world just got? All right, so stay connected. All of your alumni should go to pnwfirst.org/alumni, sign up. Let us make sure that we can get a hold of them. With that, we are about to have an outstanding day. We're all going to play a couple of times today. We're going to have an elimination round and some finals. It's going to be awesome. Thank you all for paying attention, and we'll have a great day.
Thanks, Kevin. You know, Kevin Ross never reminded me more of the brain from Pinky and the Brain than when he said about taking over the world. So we'll try to do that every night. All right. Kevin mentioned volunteers. This is an almost entirely volunteer-run organization, First Robotics is. And we always need more help. So, parents, mentors, friends, family members, guy you meet on the street, man who makes your bagel in the morning, whoever it is, we would love for anybody who has any interest to go to usfirst.org, find your way to the volunteer section and look for VIMS, that's the Volunteer Information Management System, and you can register to be a volunteer at a FIRST event. Then you can go in and sign up to work at any of our remaining 6 Pacific Northwest district events. We really need some more volunteers, and so we hope that as you go home today or talk to friends, family, community members over the next couple weeks, you can try to encourage some of them to get involved. So please help us out there. Speaking of volunteers, let's say hello once again to our judges in blue sitting down front here. Led by Judge Advisor Kelly Johnson. Our referees over my right shoulder, led by head referee Tom Saxton. Our safety advisors in the green in the back. And while we're at it, please join me and help me in thanking every single volunteer who is here today, all these people in the Recycle Rush t-shirts, everybody standing back here behind the table. This event would not go off without them, and we really appreciate their help. So thank you, all our volunteers. All right. Quick update on what's going to happen today. First of all, as Kevin said, we're going to have 11 more qualification matches. That is the last of our regular qualification matches. Then right around 10:30, we expect to roll into Alliance Selection, which is the really cool part of the day where everybody gets to figure out who they're going to be playing with and how they're going to try to take over the world. Glacier Peak. The district event. And we'll go through all that. We'll have lunch. We'll come back for our playoffs, which we'll talk about a little later. That's a bit of a different format this year. And then awards. And we do hope everybody will stick around throughout the entire day. You never know if your team might get an award, and we hope you'll stay and find out. While we're on the subject, our lead robot inspector, Andy Yeckel, has asked me to remind everybody that since there are only 33 teams here and 24 will be involved in the playoffs, we're asking every team to get their robot re-inspected for playoffs today. So at some point this morning, in between matches, please head over to the inspection station in the pits and sign up to have your robot re-inspected so that you will be good to go for playoffs should you be selected or if you're named as one of the backups, all right? All right, with that, I'm going to welcome back our First Robotics student mini choir, and we will ask everyone to please rise and remove your hats for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you very much. All right, before we get started, yesterday was a long day. We all were kind of tired by the end. We lost an hour of sleep last night. But we've got 11 more qualification matches today, so we need some energy this morning. Who is ready for robots? All right, let's keep that up all day. Teams, come on out and get yourselves set, and I will introduce you once again to my partner, our game announcer, Brian Andrews.